Hey, what's up with it? It's your boy Cowboy coming at you again, straightforward and direct, with another one like the other one, but just a little different. So, what do you guys think about looking within and addressing your anxiety or your fears or your weaknesses or whatever it is that you struggle with on the inside, right? We all have these things that we have to deal with on the inside. It could be a fear of heights, it could be a fear of swimming in deep waters. It could be anxiety when you're in a crowd of strangers. But when you have these things, how do you deal with them? You know, in order to find out how to deal with something, you first must come to grips with what it is. So you might have to do your homework. And there's no excuse. They got Google. We got Google. We all got Google. You can Google anything. Okay? So there's no excuse for not knowing. Information is out there. The information highway can be driven by anybody. So when you have something that you're dealing with, all you got to do is do your homework. But you got to find out the cause. Okay? Cause and effect. Cause and effect. So I'm feeling this way. I'm having this issue. What is the cause?
Can you remember any specific instance when you were frightened as a child?
Well, I have a vague recollection of being scared by a policeman. I think that when I was probably about 4 or 5 years of age, being sent with a note to the local police station and being shut in a cell as a punishment for some mishap or I don't even know what it was for. I was probably unjustly incarcerated at the time. But you see, the psychiatrist will always tell you, if you have a fear that is rooted in you and comes from something in your childhood, the moment you can go back to it and release it, all is well. It doesn't apply to me. I'm still scared of policemen.
So, the way I would put that in perspective, because in many ways I can relate to him. I just see them as human beings. No matter what that person is, we're all human beings. We all are subjected to the laws of nature. And one of the things that I like to use is the rule of three. Man, the rule of three helps me put so much in perspective when it comes to real life stuff. So, what is the rule of three? The rule of three it'll help you focus on those things that are necessary. It's actually a survival tool that's used by people who live a certain lifestyle. But I like to use the rule of three just to put things in perspective. You have needs, you have wants, okay? So you have 3 minutes. If you're in the water, you have 3 minutes to get some air. You can't go without air no longer than 3 minutes, okay? So 3. 3 hours, right? If you're out in extreme weather, cold, you have 3 hours to find shelter before those conditions start to take a toll on you, right? And the other one is 3 days. You have 3 days to find water. If you're thirsty, you have 3 days. That means you can go 3 days without water. And the fourth three is you can go 30 days without food, right? So 3, 3, 3, 3. Now you may be asking like, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is when you bring your own humanity to the table, when you bring other people's humanity to the table, and what happens is you place reality on the table and you're saying that all this other stuff in reality doesn't matter because you need air to breathe, you need shelter, you need water, you need food. So all this fancy stuff, this cosmetic stuff, this superficial stuff, the status that you have amongst your peers, the status that you have in society, this pedestal that you put yourself on really doesn't matter, right? Because you need those things: air, shelter, food, water. Okay? You can't live without those things. So you're human like everybody else, right? So a man wearing a uniform that gives him a false sense of authority, okay, let's keep it real, that may give someone a false sense of security because of the position that they're in. In reality, they're human just like everybody else because they need those things, right? You show me anybody on this planet, whether he's military, law enforcement, you know, president of the United States, okay? I don't care who he is. He can't live without air. He can't live without shelter. He can't live without water. He can't live without food. Those are bare necessities. So if you're suffering with fears like that, you know, you fear people because of their status, because they have a false sense of power, a false sense of security, right? And people that put them on this pedestal, put that humanity back on the table, right? Recognize them for who they are. They piss, shit, bleed just like everyone else. They're no different, okay? Don't fall for the illusion. So that's a tool that you can use to help you put things in perspective. I hope the video helped you guys out. I thought it was pretty cool. I wanted to share it with y'all. And maybe y'all have something to gain from it. Like I said before, hey, be safe, but stay dangerous. That's what's up.